Rodney Alcala, the dating game killer. Rodney James Alcala was born in 1943 in Texas. He was intelligent, reportedly with an IQ over 130, and studied fine arts at UCLA. He was artistic, articulate, and seemed harmless, but his outward charm masked a deeply disturbed mind. In 1968, Alcala committed his first known serious crime. He lured an 8-year-old girl into his car. A passerby intervened, and the girl survived. Alcala fled, but was eventually caught. Instead of serving a long prison sentence, he was sent to a psychiatric hospital and released after just a few years. Despite doctors' warning, he was still dangerous. The photographer trap. After his release, Alcala moved between California and New York. He posed as a professional photographer, often approaching young women and girls with offers of modeling jobs. He carried a camera, spoke eloquently, and came across as professional, and that's how he earned their trust. But behind closed doors, his photo shoots turned into nightmares. He would attack his victims, sexually assault them, and often strangle them, not to kill right away, but to bring them to the edge of death, let them regain consciousness, and repeat the process. To Alcala, it was a twisted game. Police later described his behavior as a predator who toyed with his victims before killing them. A killer on TV. While actively committing murders, Alcala auditioned for the dating game and was accepted. In 1978, he appeared on the show as Bachelor Number 1. He was charming, flirtatious, and even won the heart of the contestant, Cheryl Bradshaw. But after the show ended, Cheryl refused to go out with him. She told producers that something about him felt off, creepy. Her instincts may have saved her life. What no one knew at the time was that Alcala was already under investigation in multiple states for sexual assault and suspected in several homicides. The death of Robin Samso. In 1979, Alcala's crimes finally caught up with him. A 12-year-old girl named Robin Samso disappeared on her way to ballet class in Huntington Beach, California. Her body was found weeks later in a remote area. Witnesses reported seeing a strange man with a camera talking to Robin before she vanished. A sketch was made, and someone recognized the face: Rodney Alcala. When police searched a rented storage locker belonging to him, they made a horrifying discovery. Over 1,000 photographs of young women and girls, many in disturbing poses, many who remain unidentified to this day. The trial and the theater. Rodney Alcala was arrested and charged with the murder of Robin Samso. But the legal battle was long. His first conviction in 1980 was overturned due to technicalities. A second trial in 1986 ended the same way. It wasn't until 2010, over 30 years after his arrest, that he was finally convicted for 5 murders. Robin Samso and 4 women in Los Angeles: Jill Barkham, Georgia Wickstead, Charlotte Lamb, and Jill Parenteau. In a bizarre twist, Alcala chose to represent himself in court. He spoke in a monotone voice, asked himself questions, and answered them in a different tone, creating a disturbing self-dialogue. He even played a self-recorded song in court, showing no remorse, no empathy, only arrogance. The real body count, Although Alcala was officially convicted of 5 murders in California and later 2 more in New York, authorities believe the real number could be far higher, possibly over 130 victims. The photos found in his storage unit included unidentified women and children, and to this day, the FBI still hopes that someone will recognize the faces and bring closure to the families. Alcala's crimes spanned from the late 1960s through the late 1970s and potentially involved victims in multiple states. His combination of intelligence, manipulation, and brutality made him one of the most chilling serial killers in American history. Death in prison. Rodney Alcala was sentenced to death in California. However, like many death row inmates, he remained in prison for years, awaiting execution. In July 2021, Rodney Alcala died in prison at the age of 77 due to natural causes. He never admitted guilt, never offered an apology, and never gave a full account of all his victims. Rodney Alcala is a haunting example of how evil can hide behind a smile. He fooled psychologists, employers, TV producers, and even national audiences. He walked among us as a charming artist, but lived as a predator. He is remembered not just as a killer, but as a master manipulator who turned death into a performance, even on national television. And that's why the world remembers him as the dating game killer.